Hey, Tim. Happy Wednesday. Hump day.
Day, what's up, Ray? How we doing?
Doing great.
5 seconds less. Fast gas. There's a lot of competition here tonight.
There is. There you go.
701, 702, 707, 704, 73. Very tight range. Very tight range. Who's going to get outbid?
It is. It's good. Oh, look at that. Huh?
I got a new one. Here it is.
Check, please.
No one. That's right. Yes. Good stuff. And look, good to see you, Robin. Yeah, live. Hope you're doing well. I know, like you said, you're seeing recordings, but appreciate you being here with live. My Crypto Adventures. Great to see you. And yes, just saying hi to Robin as well. And that's the SBU checks. Yes. And then she throws in the Monster My City. Love it, My Crypto Adventures. Good to see you.
Yeah. Monster My City News.
Monster My City. Oh, there we go.
There it is. 701, 702, 707, 704, 703. I don't think anybody got cheeseheaded.
You got 2 at the end and then 3 in the beginning. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Spreading it out, spreading the love.
Looks good.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Someday we'll figure out what these checks mean.
They mean great things, Tim.
Of course they do. I mean, like we all know that the excitement's been building, and there's been, it's been getting better and better all the time. So these are going to morph into something exciting. I know they will.
Yeah, well, and the one thing I think we talked about it real quick is there's no empowerments to these ones, right?
Right. They're solo checks, and whatever they're going to do is going to be amazing because, obviously they're trading at 700 B honey already, and B honey's up to over $2.
$2,
I think it's 202, but I mean, hey, that's strong. And these things are trading at 700 of those, so that's what, $1,400. Am I right?
Yeah,
that's a quick math, right?
That's
a strong NFT right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at the Dow Treasury, 6,119,000, and then Queen's tax. Look at the Queen's tax. I love that.
Yep.
1,161,000 and some change. Very good. Good stuff.
And we showed last night on OpenSea that the volume trading. Now, this stuff is not included in the OpenSea volume trading, but we're at 1,400 volume trading on OpenSea.
That's right.
So we know what happens at 10,000, right?
Yeah. So
we are 14% the way there. Those empowerment bees from the earlier part of the collection.
It is. And
released at 10,000.
I agree with the Mighty Cheesehead too.
Oh, what did he say?
He said we break 50,000 subscribers in June.
Ooh.
I like it. Mighty Cheesehead. Let's buzz and go, George. That's right. Decrypting Chaos. Hi. Hello. Charging the... Oh, yes. Don't forget that. My Crypto Adventure. Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be charging the portals, man. Thank you.
That's in the title of the show tonight, Ray, if you hadn't noticed.
It is.
Charging the portals.
I look at the titles. That's right. Thank you, Monster My City and KP Queen. Good evening. And George, yes, it is a hump day. We got there's a sniper. Charge the portals. FOMO. Oh, he has a hair on the other side. Let's go, baby. What's up, Josh? Did he win? Who won yesterday? Donna Night Owl.
I didn't. I think it was Donna Night Owl. Yeah, I didn't stay to the end. I got ousted on number 5 spot, I believe. And
I think
then
it was Josh and Donna Night Owl.
And then FOMO got out. But, those guys were battling it out. Some regulars right there up until the end.
Yes, there you go. Happy Hump Day. That is correct.
Hump Day.
And Robin, from research today, there's still. Ooh, that is true, Robin. that is good research that you have there, Robin. That's good stuff. So yes, might be some more goodness, right? But you got any news? You got stuff?
101 Royals, and we're at auction 278. I'm just trying to do some math. If we're looking at is it 380-day auction from the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
So that means we're going to have 100 in 2 more days. We'll have 100 days left. Do you think they'll throw 1 Royal in per day?
I don't know. This is
whoever's doing the shuffle.
We contemplate. I don't know.
I know. I don't know. This is off the cuff, but since she's throwing the math up there, if we have 101 Royals left, maybe we're starting these checks. There'll be 1 Royal and 4 checks.
Ooh,
and just give us a little something to talk about.
Little bump.
something for fun. Mix it up a little bit.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see.
But yeah, all good, all fun. I do have some stuff, and you were mentioning charging the portals. I did find a video about that. You want me to show it, Ray?
Yeah, man.
Let's see if I pull this down, and I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and then we can watch it.
All right.
Let's see here. It's going to come up right in between us. So
it's tight. Yeah.
Yeah, here it comes.
The world is in turmoil, in a state of chaos. Humanity was losing its faith day by day in the current financial structure and the overall direction that society was headed. It seemed all hope was lost, and suddenly across the globe, news struck. A team of scientists stumbled upon a discovery that would change everything. A massive stone, etched with inscriptions in an unknown language, was unearthed deep beneath the ice in Antarctica. Scientists were working tirelessly to translate these messages. The world watches on in anticipation, hoping for a revelation that will restore the faith and provide a new direction for humanity.
Monster My City.
That is something. That's amazing. I like that.
That is a good one. That is a good one. That's the start. And of course, that's the first one that goes off. And then, I'm sure I'll find the rest of them. But it ends with charging the portals because, I guess when these portals get activated, we're going to see some monsters start flowing.
That's right. Maybe. I mean, that's I guess that's the game plan. I don't know.
Portals will give us some other clue or some other job to do, but got to keep on moving. But it's been exciting last week when these have been uncovering and releasing parts of the story. And this video, it sounds like one of the monsters is narrating himself. Wow. And it's pretty cool.
Find, Tim. You're kind of like a treasure hunter yourself, man.
Well, we're looking around the internet, and of course, we love the monsters, so we're just trying to find out as much information on them as possible.
That is.
We're searching the internet for check information. The SBU checks.
Did you find that in Antarctica? Was that in Antarctica?
Oh, it was on a special Twitter file that I'm following. Maybe a new source of information for us.
Oh, look at that! Good.
Yeah.
Good job, Tim. I like it.
I'll put it into the RB Social TV Twitter post.
That's right. Way to get all of it.
That's a mouthful there.
That's it. Hey, look at this too. We got some count princesses. What she was talking about too.
Well then,
a little extra.
Let's get rolling. I do have some other news from outside of our ecosystem. Okay. Let me push this one up here.
Oh.
This guy right here, Tradiegate or whatever he is, Trader Grade, Bitcoin consolidation prior to the bull run. He's predicting a huge bull run.
Oh yeah.
And of course, when Bitcoin flies, everything flies.
Oh yeah.
But he's looking at this, consolidation that's going on here, and then April, June, July, October is just like
Was that 100? Is that where it tops out? Is that 100?
Yeah. Nice round number.
Yeah, that is. It's nice.
But he says, okay, we're tightening right up, and then boom, it's just going to take off.
Wow.
So that's some pretty exciting stuff right there.
That is very cool. Good chart.
It's always fun when they fill in the blanks, right? There's no. But he says, he's just compared to this one over here with, it had all this consolidation, and then after that, boom, rocket ship, right?
Yep, that's true. Absolutely.
And then, or can I say rocket ship anymore? I don't know if that's.
You can't. If you can't use the emoji, I'm sure you can't say the word.
We'll get to that. Next up was a quick story. I think you mentioned this. Were you talking about Silvergate? But Tether has no ties, no exposure to the sinking crypto bank Silvergate. I don't know if you mentioned this one before, but I just found this one, and I thought it was interesting because Silvergate is the U.S. bank that caters to the crypto industry, but Tether, as we know, but just reminding people, it's one of the largest. I'm just going to skip right down to the bottom, but it's reported that where is it? Tether, the company behind the world's largest stablecoin and the most traded cryptocurrency, is doing well despite the crypto industry's current brutal bear market. It's reported last month that it still generated $700 million in profits in quarter 4 22, despite processing 21 billion in redemptions last year. USDT, the third largest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin and Ethereum, has a market cap of 71 billion. Right. But this was is that the end? No, there's one cool thing at the end. The USDT is pegged 1-to-1 with fiat currencies, so traders use this asset to quickly enter and exit trades without having to deal with US dollars, Japanese yen, and fiat currencies in a traditional bank. And Tether, as a company, is controversial, has to date refused to prove its stablecoin is backed by US dollars, and the entity is not independently audited.
Right.
So they say they're not involved with that bank, and they don't have transparency on their stuff, but it is the most used stablecoin to get in and out of trades. And I think that's the whole thing.
And it is commonly known. I mean, I know that they're saying 1-to-1 to the US dollar, but Tether is really, it's not. It's an algorithmic stable coin.
Right.
And it isn't really 1-to-1, right?
Right.
It's really on trust, that's kind of the whole thing, so yep. A lot of these with the stable coins, who knows, man, but that's true. That's good. Well,
at least they're not pegged to that Silvergate. And you were reporting the other night that Silvergate's in all kinds of hot water.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes.
The next story I found, which was incredibly, this guy has an amazing set of cojones. Because if you read this one, the Fed chair ponders potential for the digital dollar to send Bitcoin to zero. So Congressman Lynch is worried about the CDC's impact on crypto. The Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, he said he wonders why most cryptocurrencies currently have any value at all.
I don't know.
So obviously he doesn't watch our show because we explain the value.
Yes.
But we jump right down. I'm worried about a lot of these stable coins and other cryptocurrencies, Lynch said. Do they go to zero when we come up with a CBDC that has the full faith and credit of the United States behind it? So.
Hey, has the Fed ever been audited? Have they ever been audited?
Right. So they do the auditing and they go, oh, we're a little short. Let's just print another 7 billion. Then we'll be okay.
That's right. I think they're a Ponzi scheme. Let's say that.
Yeah. I don't think they know how it works, right? The transparency thing. Well, they are very transparent. We'll just print more. It's okay.
That's true.
Unbelievable. But if they start printing crypto, then forget it, right? What have we been doing for the last couple of years?
That's right. It's all for nothing.
It's amazing though, because I'm like, okay, are they going to be selling their CBDCs for like pennies and then they're going to go up to $1, or are they just going to keep printing these cryptos the way they do the dollars?
Right.
And then, I mean, come on, we've experienced this game for the last 40 years. Why would we want to get back into that in the digital version?
Well, there is.
I certainly don't.
We're gonna see a good portion that will, Tim. They're gonna do it. So
wow,
it is what it is, man. But that's funny. That's a good one. I didn't know if you were joking or not.
I will not be. I don't want to give financial advice to anyone.
Right.
But that right there is more comedic than industry news right there. That's
right. It is. It's wild, man.
That's too bad.
Good news you got. So I got a couple news stories, but then I finally finished the other 5, Tim. So we'll get off to the other uses of NFTs, 5 other uses, right? So let me get into this, get some news. I didn't get a meme today though. What's going on, Tim?
That's all right. I put the that last story was pretty funny.
Okay. I got it. So Kathy Woods, right, from Ark Investments, yep. We've talked about it. She's awesome, very smart lady. And she's ignoring all about the Silvergate, right? What's going on? Her firm, they're buying Coinbase stock for the 6th straight month, and 7,000 shares in this 2023 year. So, and that's what they're into, right? Is more of those
700,000 shares.
700,000 shares, man. That's no joke, right? Especially remember when Coinbase came out, it was up there. So it's pulled back quite a bit. So they keep putting it in, right? So she believes, what it is here, 87.50 to current levels of 61.69, and a decrease of 30% in just over a month. But she keeps loading up, man. And again, that's what everybody talks about when it's when it's low. That's where you want to buy it up, not when it's all just launching and everybody come rushing in. And now it's down quite a bit, like 60-70%. But
well,
still,
I'm gonna say, you people have to get ready, because when the Fed comes out with their stable coin, you're probably gonna get it on Coinbase right there. So
that's right. It's true.
Set up your account now.
Another thing too, talking about, I think this was a court case here, with Grayscale. This also is benefiting this week, is the largest Bitcoin institutional investment vehicle, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The crunch time for owner Grayscale in its long-running battle to convert and launch GBTC as an ETF in the United States. The trust saw a modest uptick in value as the week began. But if you ever see The Wolf of Wall Street, he's just talking about pumping hard on the day Grayscale starts their suit against the SEC. The judge has been aggressively questioning the SEC. So good start. Grayscale is pumping this. The regulators and the SEC are about to battle it up with this this group here. So a lot of stuff is going on. And last but not least, you were talking about the Fed. Here's the CFTC chair says Ethereum is a commodity.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, right. So you saw it too. Gensler's Bitcoin only position. So this is a battle going on. The chairman of the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, has taken a firm stand against the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, subtle power creep over the digital asset market. So he's saying, they told the Senate Agriculture Committee on Wednesday that Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency next to Bitcoin, is a commodity. So look at that, man.
So they're both pushing those off on each other. Well,
they are. They are. And I mean, just because I don't know, everybody knows what all this stuff is about. I wanted to just talk about what's the difference of security and commodity, right? What's the difference?
Cool.
And with investing, it's important to know the difference between securities and commodities. Securities represent an ownership interest in a company, such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The SEC regulates them, and laws and regulations that specify the disclosure of financial information protect investors. So that's what commodity or securities are all about. On the flip side, commodities are physical goods or raw materials that are traded on the exchanges. Think gold, oil, and corn, right? Remember Trading Places?
Or bacon that you would find in a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
That's right. They are generally not regulated by the SEC, and their value is determined by market supply and demand. Commodities are often used for hedging against inflation or for diversifying investment portfolios. So that's why, this battle is important to what we're talking about here, right? Yeah. I think everybody's obviously leading towards the commodities, right? So again, we put up a couple things, all this political stuff happening. All your congressmen and women and men, you need to get into contact. Any of these types of bills or debates that are coming up on the floor, you need to be a part of it, right? Get in there and tell them your opinion. Same thing, obviously, on the Senate floor. They're going to all start talking about this, and it's a big deal. It's important because, again, we don't want innovation fleeing this country. I mean, that's kind of the only thing I see that's going to help this place, right? So, it's important. And that's kind of where I wanted to wrap it up and get back into, like I told you.
I think we have to find the ones, because they have the guys that track the Senate stock trades.
Yeah,
we have to get the guys that track the Senate crypto trades.
Right.
So when they start selling their Bitcoin and selling their Ethereum, then we know, maybe some regulation's going to come down.
Yeah.
But until then, I bet they're buying a little bit. I'd love to know that.
Yeah.
But I'll do some research on that one.
There you go. But this is what we did. I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. I only did the first 5. I think it was Thursday because whatever, we had poker. It's because I had to cut it short. But I'm gonna kind of summarize the first 5, and then we'll jump into the last 6 that we didn't get into. So 10 ways to use NFTs. and it's obviously right up our alley, right? So we went through creative works, form of identity, or no, that's going down. Games and metaverse, real world assets, form of identity, certification and resume, governance token is where we're going to touch on tonight for foreign experience, naming systems like ENS, external data, and I'll talk about soulbound NFTs. But like I said last week, the NFTs for creative works, right? We always talk about IP rights, licensing, things like that. The Bs, we absolutely have the IP rights of that. NFTs for video games, and the metaverse. That's another thing. Many times we talked about it on the spaces on Twitter, right? Is all this metaverse and video games. NFTs, and this is your alley, Tim. NFTs as representing real world assets like real estate.
It's coming.
That's a big one, man. I mean, you're starting to see it, and it could be literally anything, right? Boats, yachts, land, of course, real estate. That's a big one, and that's an exciting one. But there's a lot of work to do to get that into the right arena. NFTs as a form of identity, right? We definitely say that because especially with gaming and even too maybe down the road voting, Tim. I think that would be an important one. We might want to touch on where we vote on the blockchain, right? That would be a good one. Let me see here. The last one was NFTs as a certification or resume. And, I remember I joked last week is that we did one earlier where we were able to get in to an alpha group because we bought this NFT. I asked you to buy it.
Yep.
And we probably only been over there twice now. So it's all good. But that's what we talked about last week. So this one, and here we go. I mean, this one's right here, right? This is what we talk about with the bees all the time. NFTs as governance tokens, right? NFTs can also be used to establish voting rights, and that's a big deal in the governance of an entity. One example is seen in the ability to vote in a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, just like we're in, right?
Right.
Or a similar organization based in the digital realm. While many DAOs can use standard fungible tokens for governance, there is an increasing usage of NFTs associated with voting rights. In particular, if the structure of the DAO is one person, one vote, or 1B, one vote, this may be represented by an NFT identifying the voting right of a specific person. These NFTs can also demonstrate membership in the DAO or work completed for the DAO. Furthermore, an NFT can be used for membership each year, providing another way to identify those with long-term commitment to the DAO. And, that is interesting because we've always talked about that this is an experiment on maybe how you could run a city. And, I think people are going to definitely take pieces of this as we go through and go further in this experiment called a DAO. These things are going to be more and more, out there, right? Everybody will start creating these type of things because you're going to want to go around an idea. Like we talked about that constitutional DAO. That one was really neat. They didn't get that constitution. Was it a constitution or was it the Bill of Rights? Either way, I always get that mixed up. But anyways,
I think it was the Constitution.
I think it was too. So
there was Declaration of Independence.
Yes, it was. It was the Declaration of Independence. But that's what they raised a lot of money. I think it was like $40 million. They didn't get it, but
in like 3 days.
In 3 days,
it was they spun that up and they raised millions of dollars. I think it went from 46 million to the owner of the Mets.
Right,
but
there you go.
But he outbid this DAO that spun up 40 million plus, and I think he paid 46 million. But yeah.
Right. But think about that group now. I don't know what they're doing, but I guess what? That whole group, they're definitely into, political things and how governments are structured, and now, they have a big chunk of money. Something's going to come out of that. But again, who knows how that works, but it's a great thing where you can kind of get a group of like-minded people that are all have this passion for something and, move this forward. But like I said, with this one, we have a governance. We have this treasury. We're Web3 VCs. I think everybody's going to see a little more about what all that is and what that means. Pretty incredible that what we've done so far is, what is that? You said it's like $12 million now, right? That treasury, we got 6 million something in there. And if it's $2, yeah, we're at like
That's
12
right.
million. That's pretty incredible.
Easy math right now.
It's pretty easy math. But in general, now think about, putting that to work, right? That's what's amazing about this ecosystem that we have here. And it is just like that, one be one vote. And it's a great DAO that's been put together. The developers who put all the work in on coding and how it all is structured, and how it all, when you do connect your wallet, the bees are recognized, and that allows you to do proposals and do voting, right? So,
Yep.
like I said, light years behind, ahead of everybody, and it just it's a lot of work, and that's awesome, right? I'm glad that we're a part of this, and it's like I said, exciting. But that's the sixth one. Next one we're going to go into is NFTs for an experience, Tim. So NFTs can be used to replace tickets for different events, right? In this case, the NFT would be assigned to a wallet, have a single use for a particular event, or maybe many of them. Given the tamper resistance of a blockchain, this would be a way to avoid forgeries. Furthermore, the issuers have a way to place restrictions on the ticket transfers. And the big deal about that is, we all know, is no more scalping tickets.
Yeah.
No, so, that is because that's another thing that's slippage. How you say we talk about crypto, that's slippage out of both the fans and the artists, what they're doing. So
Right.
that's ridiculous. So all of this kind of things, and that's just one point where it's going to help. That's a big deal. For example, collecting a fee every time the ticket is transferred between wallets. That's a big deal. This would also allow artists and venues to recoup some of the value when tickets are resold at a much higher value. And that's what scalping hurts. And that's just, like I said, one point. It's really cool when you start talking about masters, right? When you have the master, when a lot of these, and I've been watching, with any of this with the musicians, they don't get to keep, like Prince. I was going back and seeing Prince and Michael Jackson and all. They didn't have the master rights of their own music, of everything that they created, and they got hosed, man.
And that's you mentioned Prince, but that's why he changed his name to the artist formerly known as Prince, because he couldn't leave the company and be Prince anymore. So he was like, well, I'm leaving, and I'm going to be the artist formerly known as Prince. Because that's the only way he could go out and do his own thing. Right. And that's crazy. And they did the same thing to Dave Chappelle. But I wanted to give you more of an experience on the ticket thing. One of the great things was the NFT NYC event is coming back up, and I was there and I bought a ticket a couple of years ago, one of the originals, right? And because I have the original, they reached out to me and said, look, we're having a pre-sale for anybody that had an original ticket, and you're going to get in on this pre-minting that went on last week. And because it's only a couple months away, coming up in New York City again. So I thought that was really cool, because I have one in my wallet. They knew who I was, and they said, you're invited to the pre-sale of the next one. Yeah. So it was really cool. But now, I'll have that NFT NYC, thing in my wallet. There's no reason to get rid of it. It's just nostalgic piece there. But it's also for them to remarket to me. So, if you're a fan of an artist and you have a ticket, then they know, where their ticket holders, are, and they can get in touch and say, hey, you want to come back? Here's the deal. So I thought that was great. I was excited to see that. Right. And going back to what you were saying with the, Prince, I remember, you when they were doing that, and a lot of people, making fun of him, right? And how ridiculous when he was a symbol. But now that you understand all that what they were doing, it is crazy. Same thing. I mean, Tupac was one like that. Now the most recent one, Kanye, and it's funny how they, how much deep they go. And how long ago they did it. If you watch the newer Elvis movie, that was all slanted to the fact that the Colonel, his manager, was like, a slave driver to him and had him signed up, and he never toured the world. He only played basically in Vegas, but he did some shows in the United States, but never went to Europe or anywhere else, because the Colonel had him locked up.
That's right.
and couldn't do a thing, which is so sad. It's really horrible, but that's what this is going to change, and it's a beautiful thing.
And it is, and that's why everybody should get passionate and pumped, because again, you're early in the space, and this is the type of stuff you're going to change. When all of this starts happening, you're going to see it's like a renaissance, man. That's funny back then, but dude, this is crazy. And I know I touched on it last night, but there's these 5 sectors, and some of it is, hey, I'm not going to say it's all rosy. Some of it's a little spooky, right? But who knows how that's going to go? But it's still this thing of all this technology. At this one point is just going to explode, and we're at one of them, which is the financial system, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And for how creators and content creators and everybody who's creative is going to really own their value. That's what, like I said, it's really incredible and exciting. So, like I said, that's a big one. We've been talking about that one as well. But NFTs for naming systems, and this is something, like I said, what we talk about with ENS. The .eth sites. Another recent application of NFTs is to use them in a similar way to how the domain name service, DNS, is used. The most prevalent system for this is called the Ethereum name system, and I just was saying it's ENS. But it is far from the only system of this type. For the ENS, the top-level domain is owned and controlled by smart contracts. Users can register a name that ends in .eth based on the ERC 721 non-fungible token contract. And the name can be transferred like other NFTs. Like the DNS, the ENS can map human readable names. So an example like rayoflight.eth. So they do it to a machine readable identifiers like Ethereum addresses. So when I have the rayoflight.eth, which I do have, I can just give you that, and you could put that instead of that long string of numbers. You could put that into MetaMask to send me ETH. So thank you, rayoflight.eth. There you go.
Well, if you're giving those out, I have timjudge.wallet.
And I'm not asking, we're just joking. But seriously,
no, you can send me stuff. Go right ahead. Timjudge.wallet. Send it over.
Tim Judge is not joking. But that's what I'm saying. That's what all of this stuff is. You're seeing glimpses of what this looks like, and it's cool. It's like I said, I got a lot of those, so I like the ENS. That's also how we got an airdrop. Again, not promoting airdrops, just telling you, some of this stuff naturally doing things in this ecosystem. There's a lot of times you get rewarded, right? I don't go out looking for how to get the rewards. I'm just in the ecosystem doing what everybody's doing, exploring, looking at places, and it naturally happens, right? That's how I look at how this should be. So anyways, it's not for, not advice. But the next one is NFT as a link to external data. So the majority of NFTs act as a link or a pointer to other data that is stored externally to the blockchain. So instead of keeping everything on the blockchain, they use a pointer from the NFT to a file storage of the block. It's on the blockchain, stored on the blockchain. One common location was something called the Interplanetary File System, or IPFS. That sounds like something with the monsters, man.
I was just going to say, that's how the monsters are getting here.
Interplanetary File System. But it can conceivably include any location where the party making the NFT wants to store the data. Depending on what is being held in the linked data, this can impact privacy issues if it includes identifying or personal information and security issues, such as if the data is stored in a secure or encrypted manner. Furthermore, there may be issues with specifying how long the data that the NFT is linked to is stored. For example, while the NFT itself will be stored on the blockchain for as long as the particular chain exists, if the company is hosting the image disappears. The actual data may disappear, leaving the NFT as a pointer to nothing. So obviously, that's the big thing with that is, the place where everything's stored, it's got to be operational, right? You can have an NFT that does all this stuff, but if the data storage is gone, doesn't matter. But going forward, I'm sure you'll start seeing, these places that are going to be, I guess, at least got 100 years in them, Tim. I don't know, right? And then wrapping it up, this one is super interesting. It's been around. You've been hearing it bouncing around a little bit. But the Soulbound NFTs, right? A so-called Soulbound token is intended to be specific to a particular person or address and will not be transferred. This way, these tokens, including NFTs, cannot be sold to or shared with others. The use of this mechanism is immediately understandable given some of the uses discussed above. So all kinds of places, if this, we talk about this Web3, universe, metaverse that we're going to be in, that is what you would eventually have, is this thing that's going to be kind of accumulating everything that you're kind of into, whether you're working for a DAO over here, doing something over here, it's all going to be kind of tied to that would be your identity. Might not need to be your face, not like a driver's license, but this is what it's going to look like. So for an example, an NFT is signifying, identifying, or that a person has completed an educational course should not be transferable to others who have not completed the course. Additionally, using soulbound tokens for governance rights in an entity would also be beneficial, as making voting rights, what we touched on before, that are not transferable can make it helpful in many cases. And that is one. I mean, I'm not going to, we're not going to skirt around any stuff anymore, but that's absolutely needed. I don't care whether what side you believe, what is on a party or Democrat or Republican. Both sides have complained about it. You need something that's very simple that you can vote and everybody can have full faith and confidence that their vote counted. And this is an easy fix that can be used. And this is part of it right here, a soulbound NFT. And that would be your identifier to vote. And I think you'd also get, what's cool? I think you'd also get over 300 million people in the United States voting, Tim, because they wouldn't have to leave. If they wouldn't have to wait in line, you could literally log on, right? You could log on and because you got to connect your MetaMask or whatever decentralized wallet that they're talking about. This is on the blockchain, so it's not like somebody can hack into the internet or anything like that. And people can literally do this at home. So there is no more excuses of if this is against a certain race because they can't go get something. This is going to be how things are going to move forward in these coming years. So
look who's here. The wine gift boxes. He says 1 soul, 1 vote.
1 soul, 1 vote. That's right. 1B, 1 vote. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. But yeah, it's exciting, man, and good to see you there. Awesome, Scott. But yeah, no, it's I can't see when I'm looking and reading at that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's awesome though. So that's it. We wrapped up the other 5. Sorry it took a couple days extra, but we got a lot of stuff going on. Exciting stuff.
No, it's beautiful.
It is. It's good times, man. So there you go.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. We got to save a little bit for tomorrow night. Yeah, and we're going to do poker again tomorrow. So listen, if you haven't played poker yet, come on in. We need some fresh blood in there, not to beat you up, to learn, to have fun, and to, you can do a little chat on the side and whatever, and learn how to play poker and, go all in, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't cost anything. And all it is fun. So come on over tomorrow night and after the show and have some fun, join in and throw some chips around. And at the end, if you end up at the last table and then maybe in the top 3, you can pull out some real dollars. It's fun. Yeah. It's exciting at the end. The numbers get real big and it is a good time, fun to watch. So please come by tomorrow night and like, share, and subscribe all this. And I know a ton of people were commenting on that video that we played in there. Make sure you share that with everybody. Some cool stuff we're talking about. Right on, man. Appreciate everybody. Give us a like, subscribe, and share it. Get this out. This is information, education. People need to know what NFTs really are. It's not just some image that we're all going to the moon, right? These things have utility. These things are important because this is how you're going to build this new system that's very much needed. It's really needed. This world is jacked. And it needs to be fixed. And we get to be the pioneers and visionaries to do it. So, there you go. Sounds good to me. All right, Ray. We'll see you tomorrow. Yep. Thank you, man. See you.